Hello? Hello? We seem to have lost that caller. Okay, Farron.
I was just saying, as alluded to by Allister before, I mean, if we were to take that $2 million and try to buy and try to buy marketing time and space in magazines out in the world, we wouldn't get very far at all.
Mm-hmm.
What music festival gives us in terms of achieving that goal, getting St. Kitts and Nevis on the map, getting it known, no $2 million, easy dollars could give you that. Mm-hmm. So we need to think in terms of that as well, and just take a broader view of music festival.
Working for you, good afternoon.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes.
Listen, the people who remember, right? Music festival is only about what, 3 nights? 3 nights per year, all right? Outside of music festival, activities still go on. People still work, they still do whatever. Not because there's an increased number of people that come in, so it seems, means that there is really business on the ground for persons. And on the backdrop of that, I would like to know, right? Is there any kind of survey is done? I think this is about 20 years now since music festival. Will all of these, what we call stars that we bring in, I would like to know how impactful have their visits to St. Kitts been to the point that when they went back, they helped to promote us. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think you depend on the commercials or something like that, that comes on TV and so on. What have they done to advance this island so we can see it translated into an increase in the arrivals of people who come here? Okay? And somehow for the local artists, somehow I get the impression like, the local artists have to feel grateful that they are sort of asked to go on the show. I don't know. Somehow that is what passed over to me. Like we are doing them a favor for having them on the show, because originally it was not designed for local artists. Somehow, I don't know, clear that up. But in terms of that function, I think the country or the citizens still need to know how much is spent out and how much comes in. And I still believe that this show, it should be done in such a way that there must be some profit had from it. Because from what I hear people say, somebody who is going into the business, they have to pay like $10,000. You know how much $10,000 is?
Okay, caller, thank you.
All right.
I think you've made your point.
Okay, well, from the tourism standpoint, in how the music festival is helping tourism, awareness is extremely important. When you have somebody like 50 Cent or Lionel Richie, Genuine and so forth, talking about the destination and getting St. Kitts, there's a lot of people out there in the world who do not know St. Kitts. You'd be surprised of how many people in the United States alone just are aware of St. Kitts. To have that awareness in people's mind right then and then gives you an advantage in the marketplace, especially when you're competing against other islands. I'm talking about Antigua and the other Caribbean islands, in that, when it's time now to decide where you're going to vacation, at least you have your awareness that St. Kitts is there. Now, the music festival is just one event. Because of the music festival, I can honestly say, we have the Latin festivals there, we have Spice festivals there, we have the, the growing and the transformation of our national carnival, Culturama, all these events. And the government is encouraging public sector to come up with other events, such as the music festival, that attracts, the tourists, the international market to come to the island. So I think really the music festival has transformed the way we promote the island, and have definitely put St. Kitts on the map when it comes to the tourism market.
Okay, there's no caller on the line right now. Okay, some of the fringe benefits we were discussing. What are some of the fringe benefits of the festival? Because there are many benefits, fringe benefits that the festival generates.
Well, one of the fringe activities that we have put on each year since I think 2005 is the empowerment workshops. We felt that we have an obligation to expose our upcoming artists or upcoming musicians to not only their colleagues, performers, but also to help them along as they enter into this entertainment industry. And so we have tried over the years, and we have managed to succeed to get some of the visiting performers to put on or to host workshops for our upcoming artists and musicians and so on. These workshops vary. Sometimes slant more to the technical side of things, whereas others may focus mainly on how you break into the business, marketing, and how what are some of the tools that you need for a record company or label to recognize you and so on. So we try to do the workshops in such a way that the attendees could walk away being better off than they were before they attended these workshops. And so these workshops are done by professionals, performers themselves. So we, it's not people who just take up off the streets and get them to do the workshop. They're actually done by some of the visiting performers or members of their management team, or sometimes we engage persons who are in fact in the industry, so who knows the ins and outs, and those are put on free for our local upcoming artists. As I indicated, we have Front Stage coming back, which is our lunchtime concerts on the 3 days of the festival, and there are other events such as White Sands, which is the Sunday event following Music Festival. White Sand have grown tremendously over the last couple of years, and White Sand is back this year. I understand there's also Limitless that same weekend, and there's a number of other initiatives over the festival period that is intended to engage visitors and even nationals who wish to go out and and really take part and experience all that is of the St. Kitts Music Festival. And we continue to encourage business entities in the community to engage in other activities in order that we can expand the festival period. And right now the festival is for 3 days. As I indicated earlier, we're going to open on the Wednesday night, similar to 1996. We have the lunchtime concerts, but ideally we would like to see many other things springing up so that we can even expand the festival for 1 week, and perhaps from 1 week we might be able to expand it to 2 weeks or 10 days, and because the object is to have persons staying on and really experiencing St. Kitts to its fullest. So that is the objective behind the festival. That is where we would like to see the whole process leads. We want persons to come and really experience the destination. At the same time too, once you've paid that money to come to St. Kitts for the festival, why not hop over to Nevis? I mean, the sister island is just across the water. We are different in some ways, and so we want visitors in particular to be able to experience 2 for 1 when they do visit the destination. So these are some of the things that we'd like to see happening. But I want to pause here just for a little while to express our appreciation to our many sponsors, our many contributors who have supported us over the years. We have some sponsors who have been with us since 1996, and we recognize as a committee that we cannot stage this production on an annual basis. without the support of private sector entities and individuals, because I must add also that our volunteers are one of our number one success story coming out of music festival. The volunteers, these are our strategists. These are the folks who come year in, year out to support what we do. They're the ones who give of their time, their expertise, and help us to put on this production that is considered to be one of the best in the region. And so we want to say a special thank you to the many volunteers, the large cadre of volunteers who come in every year to support this effort. And we want to let them know that we appreciate their sacrifice, we appreciate the hard work, because we know we could not have achieved 20 years without their support. And the same to our sponsors, companies such as Flow. When they started with us way back, there was Cable and Wireless, then we went to Scantel, and B-Mobile and Lime, and now Flow. But they've been with us since 1996. We Tropical Shipping, they've been around from the inception as well. We have Carib have also been one of our top sponsors over the years, and they've supported us even in the challenging years, during the recession and so on. So we want to thank them. Of course, we have companies such as Rams, Appleton Rum, and Johnny Walker, and so many other sponsors, Liat, who have supported the work over the years, who understood the vision and who stepped up and supported us over the years. So we want to say a special thank you to all of them, but in particular our volunteers, who, unlike some festivals around the region, you find that they have less volunteers, and they have engaged number of companies to help them to mount the festival on an annual basis. In St. Kitts is completely the opposite.
Yes.
You have more volunteers and less companies and so on engaged, and that helps to build a sense of self-worth and build community consciousness. And so, because what you see is happening now is that some of those persons who have worked with music festival and so on can better able to perform at the CPLs and the community festivals and all of those other events that spring up throughout the year and so on, because they have gotten that experience out of music festival from since 1996. They are able to do other such events and to ensure that the whole entertainment industry in St. Kitts continues to be vibrant, and there's a positive future ahead. So we want to say a special thank you to all of them for their support over the years, and we look forward to their continued assistance as we move forward.
Sure. Now we soon have to be wrapping up, but before I wrap up, there's one question. We used to have 4 nights, and you cut it down to 3. You used to have a gospel night. What was the reason for doing away with the gospel night?
Well,
Because some persons definitely will tell you they're not into the secular music, and since we said that we are a diverse society catering to all sort of genres, the religious genre was one of them. What was the reason for doing away with it?
The Sunday night, as you quite rightfully said, was predominantly gospel. What we found over the years is that it was not financially viable.
Okay.
The numbers was dropping drastically, and as you said also, there were a number of folks who did not want to partake of an event that also included really focus on secular music. And so you found that most of the Christians, for instance, shied away from the Sunday night. I think some of the churches even encouraged them not to participate in the Sunday night event, because they saw it as part and parcel of they didn't see it as something that was worthy of such support because of their Christian principles and so on. So the numbers started to fall drastically. Although it started out as one of our bigger nights, way back in '96, and for a few years, we had some great numbers on Sunday, but then it started to dwindle, and so after we couldn't afford to keep it after a number of years. We tried our best to hold it as long as we could, because of course we are cognizant of the fact that in everything we do, we have to always give God thanks and so on.
Right.
So we are always for that, and but we could not have sustained it over the years, and so we had no choice but to finish away with the Sunday night.
Okay.
But from time to time, as I indicated, because of our policy to cater to a wide cross-section of persons by the very structure of our lineup each year, from time to time we have included gospel, on occasion. We have not been able to do it, every year, but as much as possible we try to do it. And because they have some folks out there who may not necessarily be Christians, but who are very much into the gospel music. And most of us grew up on gospel music, so we try to include it where we can.
Okay, now gentlemen, we are almost out of time, so I'll give you 1 minute each to wrap up.
Okay, well, the caller, asked about the local acts. And just to say real quick that yes, it is indeed a privilege to be on the music festival stage. That is an international stage. We don't put anybody on that stage. You honestly have to earn the right to be on that stage. To show that, yes, being on that stage means that you're going to use that to propel your career and go further. Not many people can say that they've been on the same poster with 50 Cent, Damian Marley, along with Morgan Heritage. And here's a poster where we have Nisha B and Mark Stoney. Now, that is quite a privilege to have that. We have quite a lot of people from all over the Caribbean begging us to the music festival. So yes, it is indeed a privilege. It's not to be taken lightly, and not because you're local and you're performing locally you get to be on, but you do have to earn that right and show that you can use that, to propel your career forward.
Allister? Or Farron? Yes.
First of all, I want to thank for the opportunity to speak on Music Festival today. I want to focus on the fact that we've come 20 years. That's a major achievement. And I want to encourage us as Kittitians and Divisions to take ownership of our festival and be proud of it. So many others have come after us and have not made it. We are a small country, and we just spoke about the volunteers. It just goes to show you that we have a lot of talent in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we need to be proud of that talent. It's not easy to bring this from 96 up to 2016, and I'm especially grateful to those volunteers. I've worked with them for the past 19 years myself personally, having started out as just a volunteer on a committee over the years, and you take on additional responsibilities, but I'm very proud of those volunteers. And also, again, the sponsors. There's some sponsors, especially major sponsors, the Tropical Shipping, the Flow, the Caribou, who, it got to a point where you don't even talk to them during the year. It's automatic that they're going to be on. And we tend to take that for granted. But for me, that is commitment. And I'm very happy and pleased about that. I've been around for 19 of those 20 years, and I want to tell you I'm very proud of my country and what we have achieved.
Thank you, Farron. Allister?
Okay, I just want to say that the 20th annual St. Kitts Music Festival from June 23rd to 25th at Warner Park Stadium will be absolutely magnificent. But I don't want the audience to take my word for it. I want them to come out and experience it for themselves, come and experience the sounds of music. But I want to go back to the opening remarks of the Honorable Minister a few weeks ago when we launched at the Palm Court Gardens, and he was saying, when we started this musical journey, many of us knew little about festivals of this magnitude, but yet as typical Kittitians, we rose to the occasion and we staged an event that many still feel was one of the best events ever way back in 1996. And as Farron quite rightfully said, many festivals started around that time and is no longer with us. Many with huge budgets, with a larger human resource base, and they could not stand the test of time, and we have endured. And so we were able to do that, as he indicated, because we had the support of many volunteers, of many corporate citizens who lent their support to the whole initiative. And we cannot thank them enough. And so I want to reiterate, I want to say it openly again, that we thank them for their support over the years. And we look forward to that continued support. And I also want to thank the patrons, because many of them come out year in, year out to support this event. And so we want to thank them for believing in the dream and so for supporting it over the years. So once again, I want to encourage them to come out. Remember, we have a Wednesday night concert, Independence Square, and then we have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Warner Park. And for the same small fee, I know there are some concerns as to whether or not the fee would go up this year, but the entrance fee is still $100 EC or $40 US. So I encourage them. Tickets go on sale from Monday. Ticket outlets would be at various locations, and we will be announcing that more on social media. Of course, we always have tickets at City Drugstore in St. Kitts and TDC in Nevis. We have other outlets, the Marriott, the St. Kitts Marriott. We also have at Warner Park ticket booth on the week of the festival. But there are several other outlets to come so that persons would have an opportunity to purchase their tickets in advance of the shows. As Sajja indicated also, the Friday night is going fast. As you know, anytime Junior Gang Mali, the Morgan Heritage and all of the other talents that we have this year, it will be an awesome experience. So we want folks to come out and purchase their tickets early to make sure that they have a space at the venue. But in closing, I just want to say to the public that 20 years it's a huge undertaking over the years, a labor of love for many of the volunteers who support the festival. But we have grown, we have learned a lot of lessons, and we continue to listen to our patrons, and we want them to know that we are listening. And so we welcome all of their recommendations, their ideas, their suggestions, because this is the only way we can grow from strength to strength. So we thank them for all their feedback over the past years, and we look forward to their continued assistance as we mount the festival year after year.
Well, there we have had it. We have had a very lively discussion today on the St. Kitts Music Festival. It has come to be one of those things that we look forward to every year, not just in St. Kitts, but people regionally and internationally have come to look forward to the annual St. Kitts Music Festival. I want to thank you gentlemen for coming on this show today and to give some sort of an awareness and education in terms of the history of the music festival, where we have come from and where we are today, and how the music festival has been a success over 20 years. I want to thank Mr. Sajo Ngala, who is the communications manager at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and you, Mr. Allister Williams, you're the executive director of the St. Kitts Music Festival in the tourism events unit. And I want to thank, he has left, he had to go to a funeral, but I want to thank Mr. Farron Lawrence, who is chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee. I thank you all for being here today. This has been another edition of Working for You. I am your host, Lesroy Williams. Next week we would see you, but remember, tomorrow we have a rebroadcast on Freedom FM from 7:30 to 9 a.m. on Von Radio from 10:30 to 12 p.m. We also have, after the evening news on Sunday, this Working for You will be on as it is televised. See you next week.
Working for You. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Lesroy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.